and welcome to this episode of Beauty to Bank. My name is Season Bennett. I am the CEO of The Social Barber, and I help established beauty professionals learn how to package up your knowledge into digital products so you can avoid burnout behind the chair. I am super excited to come to you today live to talk to you about building your value ladder. This is a concept that people don't talk about a lot. This is something that, I truly believe is going to help a lot of people kind of figure out how to get this money right online and understand how it applies to you. To be honest, when we're talking about this value ladder, it's going to work whether or not you have a physical or a digital product, to be honest. But of course, I like to talk about digital products. We've had a lot of amazing wins in my group coaching program, the Six Figure Business System. And so I'm excited to bring that to you today. That is my Valentine's Day gift to you. A little bit of housekeeping here. If you want to show your name on the comments, you do have to authenticate with StreamYard so we can see your name. Let me make sure that you can hear my voice before we jump right in. Go ahead and drop a 1 in the comments if you can hear me okay. And we will jump right into the content. I really like to jump right in because I want to make sure that everybody is good to go and that I don't like to string you along like that for too long. I want to make sure that you get your info and that we do that, okay? So let me make sure, is everybody in? Can everybody hear me okay before we jump right into the content? Okay? Let me see. Go ahead and drop a 1 in the comments. And happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Happy Valentine's Day. Okay, so it looks like we are good to go. All right. All right, good to go. Okay, I see some thumbs up, some ones in the comments. So I'm gonna go ahead. When I share my screen, it's real. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna share my screen with everybody here so that I can make sure that you see the good stuff. Let's see here. All right, let me just I'm just gonna share my whole screen, okay? Here we go. Let's get into this. Okay. We're going to talk about building your value ladder. Okay. Let's get into this. All right. So, first off, before we jump into this, let's talk about what is a value ladder. Okay. And really, this is my words. This is not official, okay, but it is official, if you know what I'm saying. Okay. So a value ladder is really a strategy to introduce new clients to your company and or your services. And as your value increases, so does price. Okay. So it's really like your own funnel. So if you hear people talking about funnels, you see that sometimes you can really get people in on a cheaper price point and keep upselling them to the next thing. Okay. So we're going to get into this more. So if this doesn't quite make sense, just stick with me here because I've got some graphics and things that you can see as well. Okay. So next, right? So here, just like I mentioned, this is the same definition, but I thought it would be good to add a picture here. So you see value is going up. It's kind of looking a little mathy here with the X and the Y axis, but don't worry. Okay. So as the value is going up and the price is going up, you can kind of see how this works. So there's a ladder, right? You keep stepping up in value and price point. Okay. So let's do a little example together. And I do like to make this interactive. So if you have questions, um, if you have any questions about anything, then for sure, I want to answer those as well. Okay. So let's look at like a dentist. Okay. So we're all pretty familiar with the dentist, hopefully, right? And so with the dentist, if you kind of look here, if you're looking along their value ladder, a teeth cleaning is like one of their cheapest services that they have. Okay. Then you move on, they have like whitening, the retainer, they have cosmetic. And you see, as you keep doing these different things, you can get veneers, other things like that. The price keeps going up. And remember, people are still coming in. They have their 6-month checkups. That's not a very expensive thing, but it's something that people are going to keep doing. They're going to regularly keep coming in for this 6-month checkup. And what happens is that then the dentist has an opportunity when you're in there to upsell you to other things. Well, do you want to have the fluoride? Do you want to get the whitening? Do you want to get, are you interested in getting braces or what's the Invisalign or porcelain veneers, any of those things? As you see, right, the value is going up, the price goes up, and you see this is a value ladder for a dentist. Okay. So, you know what I want to talk about? I want to talk about the value ladder for doing online classes. Okay? Because there's a different way. So we see this picture here. Let's talk about how does it apply to digital products and doing things online. All right? So let's look at this. This is my own, these numbers really are subjective, meaning that these numbers can change. Okay, so I have some recommended numbers in here. These are just numbers. Okay, your numbers might be completely different based on what type of material you're teaching, how rare it is, right? So if you're teaching something that's super rare or something that a lot of people don't know about, your price points could be completely different. I This is part of the pricing structure is you being a specialist. And that's why I encourage people a lot of times to make sure that you're specializing in a particular niche, because as you're doing that, your numbers will be different. Hey, Daniel. Okay. So your numbers will be completely different. So when I look at the ladder, I start from the bottom. I know when we look at these charts, we really like to start at the top, but I always think about the bottom, right? So I know a lot of times people are telling me they don't want to give away their best stuff for free, but if you're not giving away good stuff for free, then people are not going to move up your ladder because they're not going to know if you have the information, if you're the person that they should go to. Okay. So your free information is your social media posts, the emails that you send out with your email marketing, if you're using text marketing or doing free webinars so that you can introduce people to your services. Okay. And if you're doing digital products, you should have you should have some, if not all of these things for your free piece of, and this is kind of the hook. This is how people get introduced to you. They understand that you know what you're talking about. You're the person that can help them. You're the person that can train them. You have to have this free component here. If you don't have this free component, it's going to be really hard to get people to pay. Okay. I'm going to pause here for a second because I know that that's a hard part for people to understand. But if you don't have the free piece, it's going to be hard to get customers, paying customers, because they don't know if you actually know what you're talking about. Okay. And I think all of us on here have paid for classes, training, and things like that, that we were like, that was some bull. Okay. Am I lying? How many of you guys in here have paid for classes or training and you were so disappointed? You were like, I don't even know. This was such a waste of my money. I want my time back. You can keep the money, but I wish I could have saved that 1 to 3 hours or longer because I did not get any value out of that. Okay. I think all of us have been there. And the way that we get people to get to being a paying customer is we provide them value for free. Okay. It's hard, very, very, very hard, if not impossible, to get people moving up your value ladder, right? And as you guys see here, I'm starting from the bottom and going up, right? The price is increasing. Okay. So let me go through here. So we talked about the free. Next, the low price classes. Now, when you're taught, now, by the way, let me take a step back. When we talk about the free, I'm not talking about giving away your best stuff for free. What I'm talking about is I'm talking about sharing people why they need your paid classes, some of the misconceptions, some of the myths, some of the reasons why they haven't been successful in the past with what you offer. Okay? Those are some of the things that you can share for free, and they will let people understand that you know what you're talking about. Okay? So it's more around the what. Now when we start charging, we're getting into the how. And I like to be very specific when I talk about the how, step by step, okay? So when we talk about low priced classes, let's talk about this because this is a sensitive subject, but I do think everyone should have some type of low priced class to introduce people to you as an educator, introduce people to you and your brand, what it is that you teach, the value that you offer. Now remember, the reason why, there's a couple of reasons why you can charge this low. If you're looking at me and you're like, Season, $27 to $47, that's crazy. There's people even that charge $7 or 17, okay? But this is how it works, okay? You're able to provide a decent amount of value because you're able to get more people in, okay? Now, another thing about these $27 to $47 classes is you don't teach your best thing for like everything. And this is a huge mistake that a lot of educators make online is that they try to, in this one class, they try to give everybody the whole thing. It's like they want people to go to college and get a 4-year degree in one 3-hour class. And they're not going to do that. Your students are not going to be successful. Okay. You need to break it down into small bite-sized pieces. I like to call them bite-sized classes where people can come to your class and they can be successful, right? Just by attending that one session. Okay. How many of you guys have ever taken a class and you were in the class, you're like, oh my gosh, this class is so amazing. This information is top notch. And you go home and you're like, I don't even know what to do first. Like, I don't even know where to start. Like, did she say to do that one first or the other one? Okay. It's happened. Okay. And so you don't want your people to feel like that. And so what you do is you give them a very small offer. Okay. So let me give you an example. Instead of saying how to cut hair, you're going to say, I'm going to show you how to do, one pixie cut on 4C hair. Okay. Right? Very specific, very small. Okay, very small. I'm going to show you how to do a pixie cut on 4C hair. Something small, you give them an expectation. You're teaching one thing, you can say in 30 minutes or less. Like you're saying, this is the expectation. Okay. The way that you can build up the value, a lot of times I like to add extra stuff. I like to have handouts or vendor lists or things like that. Okay. But this is how we get started. These are the low price classes, how we can do that 27 to 47 in case you were like, oh my goodness, season, I don't know what you're talking about. 27 to $47. Okay. Just give them a piece. And also, by the way, when you give a small piece, what happens is that instead of you having this long course that could take 10, 12, 20 hours to finish, now you've got, 10 to 20 smaller courses. Okay, you give people bite-sized pieces and give them an opportunity to be successful at each in each class, okay? All right, medium price, and these can be anywhere. These are my numbers. Like I said, I made these up. 97 to 497, okay? You can do this. It can be either a one-day class, you can make it a multi-day workshop. In your multi-day workshop, you can, it could be, 30 minutes to an hour each day. It's up to you, okay? But there, you see how the perception of value is higher? Oh, it's more days. You see what I'm saying? This is how the value ladder, this is how we talk about the price, okay? Now, by the way, one thing I always want you to be thinking about, okay? I always want you to be thinking about the fact that the more it takes of you individually, the higher the price. So if somebody wants to do a one-on-one, like we started talking about, one-on-one coaching, a course, and a group coaching program, these are higher priced and the perception of value is a lot higher. And guess what? When you're doing something one-on-one, you need to charge more money. Okay? Let me tell you why. Even if you're charging $27 for a class, right? You can have 100 people on there, right? If you have 100 people, you're making 2,700 in 1 hour, even if your class is 1 hour. But if you do something one-on-one with somebody, even if you charge $100 an hour, now you can only service that one person. So your one-on-one time should always be at a premium, okay? Because really, you're maxed out. Even if you had somebody booking you every single hour, a one-on-one for $100 an hour, you're maxing out. When you do a class, like an online class that you can do to the masses, it's just a numbers game. It's just a matter of getting more and more and more people to get into that class, okay? So I hope that makes sense, okay? And then of course you have mastermind programs. They could be year long, they could be 6 weeks, whatever it is, but these are the highest priced, okay? I'm going to pause here for a moment. I want to see if there's any questions about this. We want to talk about, this is the value ladder for digital products. All right. So this is something you want to keep this in mind. The way that it works and the reason why people use this, you want to get people in on your free and your low priced products because this is how people start to understand the value that you provide. They see your expertise, they fall in love with you, they become part of your community. Okay. So it's really even important for you to show up for free. Okay, so even if, let's say, for instance, you want to partner with other companies, other programs, You need to be able to drive traffic into your offers. So it's super important that you go ahead and you do have these lower priced offers as well. Okay. From free to low priced. All of these things matter. Okay. Um, Gigi said, and let me go ahead and add this here. Let's see if I get, what if the information it went on YouTube for free? That's fine. But you need to even drive people to your free information. So even if you're, if it's on YouTube, after you're done, you can download it. You can cut it up into little spots. You can put it on TikTok. I've been seeing you on TikTok a lot, Gigi. You can put it into a reel. You can put it into your stories. You can link it into your emails, but you do have to put it in front of people. And the algorithm can get tricky. One thing I noticed though about the algorithm, you guys, everybody's talking about this algorithm. One thing I've noticed is that people are looking. Like your likes might not reflect. Like there's times I've had a very low number of likes and I'll see there's a ton of saves and shares. Okay. And so people are looking. Some people don't like to like and follow as much, and they might go to your page every single day. And that is okay, but you just want to make sure that you are pushing your free information out. If you spend a great deal of time creating your content, you want to make sure that people see it. So you might have to keep resharing it. Okay. Okay. You said what I mean is what if the information you already have on YouTube is by others for free? Oh, that doesn't matter. Okay. This is a great question. I'm glad you said this, Gigi. So basically, what she's saying is that what if other people are saying the same thing? Doesn't matter. There's tons of people that talk about creating digital content. You have to find your teacher. So for you, you might say, "Oh, I really like to go to this other person," or you know what, the way Season explains it, it makes sense to me. Just like any of you, right, Gigi? You talk about natural hair, locks, um, any of that. It doesn't matter. Okay, some people want to learn it from you. They can relate to you. They like your style. You're their type of person. Okay, so don't get in your head about the fact that other people are teaching the same stuff. It's up to you to drive the traffic to that. And so I think a lot of times, and I like what you said here, you said, I feel like I'm competing with YouTube. I think that if you can change your viewpoint on it. So instead of you thinking like, oh man, like if I post my video, I might not have a lot of, views comparing it to a whole bunch of other people online. It doesn't matter. For me, I'm a newer YouTuber. Like, YouTube has not been a thing that I've been very intentional about. I'll be honest. Okay, I've spent more time on Instagram for sure, Clubhouse, Periscope when it was still around. I haven't spent as much time on YouTube, so my views are going to be lower. But what I've done is I drive people to my YouTube, like my people, and they can watch some of my longer form my videos there. So that's what I've done. And right now, I'll tell you guys, I share the link to my YouTube when I go live on Beauty to Bank, but I'm multi-streaming, right? Or they call it multicasting, okay? So right now I'm live in two groups on Facebook, on my personal page, my business page, and YouTube all at the same time. Okay? Because I spend a lot of time creating this content, thinking about what we're going to talk about. I've spent a lot of effort on the software to do this, the knowledge, the training. I'm always taking classes. And so everything that I'm doing, I try to create a lot of value with it. So I'm pushing it out everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Just even learning how to do this live stream right here, how to create I created these graphics, how to create, the scrolling thing on the bottom. So everything I do, I want to share it because I spent a lot of time learning how to do it, testing, even though I might come on here, it might be 15 minutes, it might be, an hour, whatever it is. I spent a lot of time learning how to do this because I want to share. And I want to give information, especially to my beauty professionals who I feel like may or may not have access to this information. Okay. Good. Gigi said, thank you. You made a light bulb go off. Awesome. And that's what I hope I can do by sharing this information because you may not have ever heard of a value ladder before. So all these things, like I take, they say understood the assignment, right? So for me, I really truly feel like this is what God has tasked me with doing. is reaching out and helping beauty professionals understand how to make money without standing behind the chair. Okay. I know this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm always trying to figure out how do I maximize my purpose and going harder, give value. Like this is something I'm always thinking about these things. Like to be honest, like you guys would probably be surprised if you guys knew how much time I'm always spending. And some of you guys know, some of you guys might not even realize, like I'm researching, okay, how do I make them do the thing? If they do it one time, they're gonna get it. Um, but that's definitely something that I do and I push it out there, okay? All right. Yeah, so Daniel, I don't have a class on this. Let me know if this is something that you guys would like to understand how to do this. And we can talk about that on another time. I can talk to you about the details of this. Maybe we'll do an Instagram live about this, okay? Um, all right. So back to the value ladder here, okay? So we've been going through, if you guys have just joined, I'm seeing some new comments in here. I see Lisa, Daniel, and Gigi, healthy hair, Lala. Um, and and I know there's a lot of other people. I can't see everybody's names on here. In case if you haven't authenticated, I can't see your names. Um, but we've been talking about the value ladder and how to build up your value ladder. So even though I've been talking about digital products, we talked about a dentist, and you really probably would even think about this whether you have a barber shop, a hair salon, or a spa. There might be some type of free or low price thing that you offer, right, to get people into your funnel and so they can keep upselling and become a regular customer. Okay. So when we're talking about creating a value ladder, these are the steps that you want to take. Okay. So, first, you want to just list all your products or services. You can do it on a piece of paper. I like doing things on the computer only because you can copy and paste and move things around more easily. But first, you list all of your products and services, and I put an asterisk at the bottom just to remind you. Make sure that you include your free services as well. Okay. Um, yes, there will be a replay here. I do leave this up here on YouTube. So in case you're like, wait a minute. Okay. Yes. So first, number one, list all your products and services, including the free ones. List them on a piece of paper. Next, add the price. And then what you do is you order them from the least expensive to the most expensive. Okay. And that's how you create your own value ladder. So what you do is that you're going to want to make sure that you go ahead and you keep pushing, pushing, pushing to get people between your free and your low price. That's where you drive your traffic to, because it feels like it's a low risk for the customers to try something new. That's kind of what the how this works. Okay, you want to have a low risk to try something new, and then that's where you can keep upselling them. You want to over deliver, like let's say this piece, even on your free or low price products, you want to make sure that you really bring it home. You want to deliver, you want to go hard, you want to make sure that you are really doing your thing. Okay. Okay. And that's something that's very important. Okay, I definitely want to point that out. All right. Next, okay, so let's talk about this. Everything that we do, it's all about the numbers. Okay, so you might even find that it takes you $100 to recruit a new client for a $50 service, but it might be worth it to do that, to spend that, make that little loss in the beginning, because you have to look at your numbers and see how many people are going up your ladder. Okay, and you might be getting quadruple your money back for your $50 loss. And so you have to know your numbers. Everything that you do, when we're really doing all this business stuff, everything is about the numbers. You have to know your numbers. You have to evaluate, you have to keep track. We don't want to just do things just for the sake of doing them. Like, we always want to be looking at numbers and understanding what our numbers mean. Okay, so I'm going to pause here because I want to make sure, see if there's any other questions. I know you guys have been asking questions in between, but we've been talking here about a value ladder, what it is, why you need one. Really, every type of business. Now, you guys know I'm the digital product girl. I'm gonna be talking about online stuff, but no matter what type of business that you have, every single person should have this value ladder. And look, and that's a way that it's your funnel. Really, that's how the funnel works. When you hear people talking about funnels, that's how it works. Okay. So it's increase in the value is higher and the price is higher. To me, another thing that I want to point out to you too is the more it takes of you being the less people that you can help at one time, the price should be higher as well. So I hope that makes sense. So if somebody wants you to do something that is, one-on-one, that is your premium pricing. Okay? That should be premium pricing because of the fact, right, that you can't help a lot of people at that time. You can only help one person at a time. All right. So let me pause here, and I want to see, this is super important. Make sure that everybody understands how that works, okay, with the value ladder. Now, one thing that I have done, if you guys look in this description here, one of the things that I have done is I went ahead and I actually shared with you guys, um, my link here. I'm going to pull it over here so you guys can, oops, wrong link. Sorry about that. Okay, wrong link. But I have a link where, if you guys have been thinking about creating and selling digital products, I highly recommend it. Because what happens is that when you're able to create and sell digital products, because I know you guys are kind of like, wait a minute, what do you mean one on one? Everything I'm doing right now, I'm providing services for clients. So everything is one on one. Okay. When you're doing your digital products and your online classes, every time you're doing something, it is not a one to one. Okay. It can be a one to many. It can be, and that's really what you want to do. That's how you're able to offer these smaller services. Okay. So you guys know I have my group coaching program, the Six Figure Business System. And in there, what I do is I share my system, for how I started making six figures with my digital content alone. Now, spoiler alert, I really started making these huge dollars with the 27 and $39 classes. So you guys can see I am a huge proponent of this value ladder. Okay. So when I talk about this stuff, it's not just me regurgitating stuff that I saw online. This is really, what has happened for me. This is the thing that made me get to six figures, is having these lower priced products. The 27 and $39 classes are what got to me to like over $130,000. That alone. Okay. So I know this works. Okay. Now, another thing that I do is that I always make sure that people are having, even with these lower price classes, the reason that I'm able to do these is because, like, if you watched last week's Beauty to Bank live, um, I'm always offering an order bumper and upsell, just like when you're standing in the grocery store and they have stuff sitting next to the cash register. I always have a little extra that you can add into your cart. And that also makes it valuable. That's how you get to six figures online. Okay. You have to have the proper tools though. Okay. So, with that being said, it's super important to have these things set up properly. Okay. Now, if you are, doing services on customers, if you're doing nails, hair, makeup, whatever it is a one to one. So you need to make sure that you do have digital products and you have a way that you're able to share with a lot of people at one time and educate them and make money, because now you're not trading your time for money. It's not an even exchange. Okay. When you're doing something online, it doesn't matter if there are 10, if there's one person, 10 people, 100, or 1,000 people. Okay. It doesn't matter. You can make unlimited amounts of money online. And I know that that sounds like, you know, crazy. I know it sounds crazy. Literally, I know that. But the thing is that it literally, that's how it works. That's why I'm so passionate about it. Okay. You can still do one to one services, but they should be a lot more expensive. And you can even decide, hey, I'm not going to do, let's say, for instance, your audience are beauty industry professionals, and you're going to be really busy Sunday, Mondays, and Tuesdays. You might say, hey, I don't do one on ones on those days because those are my super busy days when most of my people are available. You might say, I'm going to do my huge group classes on those days, and if somebody's willing to pay the premium pricing, you can do it on your one of your less busy days. It's up to you. You have choices once you understand and you have the proper system set up. Okay. Um, Now, if you guys are interested in the six figure business system, I see I have some students in here from there as well, launching their classes as well. What I've done is I've put it together. So if you want to watch the first module for free, I put the link in the description and you will get access to the first module for free. It is over an $11,000 value for the course. but you can watch the first module for free. The link is actually in, I'm used to saying in the bio, but it's in the description here. So depending on if you're watching me on Facebook or YouTube, you can actually go ahead and you can actually watch that first module. Some of this stuff might make more sense when you watch that. All right. So let me see if I've missed any questions. Any questions here? It's super important that you guys understand and you're very intentional. It doesn't happen by accident. You understand what I'm saying? Like you making passive income, you creating and selling digital products. It doesn't happen by accident. You do have to put in some work. Even just thinking about what you're going to sell, you have to promote it. Like I know people like to make it, and it kind of frustrates me sometimes. If I could share with you guys and be really honest with you, it's easier if somebody tells you, hey, all you have to do is record this and put the link in your bio, and people are just going to buy it. You're just going to keep making money over and over without doing anything. It's easier for somebody to sell you that than for somebody else to say, hey, I'm going to show you what's going to work all the time for everybody, but you have to be consistent. Nobody wants that. They're like, being consistent. I'd rather take the risk with going viral. Let me just pay more money because that might work, right? Instead of me actually saying, let me find out what's going to work for everybody all the time. Okay. It's kind of a frustration that I have because sometimes what people are doing is they're kind of like sugarcoating things and giving people what they want to hear on a platter. And people will purchase because they're like, oh my gosh, like, they're not giving the full picture. Even to the point of saying, hey, I'm going to show you how, I made $1 million, right? They might say, okay, I made $1 million. They're not, a lot of people, guys, look online. People are not showing you how much they spent. Okay. People are not talking about how much they spent to get to that. Somebody may have made $1 million and spent 1.2 million in ads. Okay. That's what people are not talking about. Okay. What I'm talking about is, in my six-figure business system, what I do is I give you the things that you can control. I want to put you in the driver's seat. I don't want you to feel like, okay, now I gotta, we gotta learn how to do ads. We gotta learn how to do this. We gotta learn how to do that. I'm teaching you organic marketing. I'm showing you how to network with people, how to build your own community. That's really what you need. Everything you're doing. Excuse me, we got some seasonal allergies here going on. But you want to build your own community. No matter what you're doing online, you need your own community, okay? If you are not building your own community, you don't have your own platform. You don't have a way for, other people to reach you. You don't have a way for people to fall in love with you. It's really important that you have your own community, every single person, okay? And just like that question that Gigi asked, I'm so glad that you asked that question, Gigi, because I feel like that's a question that a lot of people have. Well, what if other people are talking about this? It doesn't matter. For people who are passionate even about, locks and natural hair and everything else, they take classes from a lot of people. They test out things. They're passionate. They want to know all of these things. Okay, they want to know all of that. And so they're going to take classes from multiple people. Might as well be you too. They might like the way you do it better than somebody else. There's certain people that you guys like better than others. Okay? And so, but nobody can take a class from you. Nobody can join your community. Nobody can do any of those things if you don't do the thing. You have to do the thing. You have to put your class out there. You have to do all of those things in order for people to fall in love with you. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna pause here. I know you're like, dang, season, why are you gonna make me? You guys know I'm gonna put you on the spot. Okay, I'm gonna say the things that other people probably won't tell you. It's out of love. It's sometimes a little harsh. I'm gonna keep it honest, but it's real, and sometimes you have to do it. If you need more help, tell people. Okay, ask, ask for help. If you need more help, just let people know, okay? But you do have to do the thing, all right? You have to execute, you have to launch your digital product. You can't make passive income without having it, okay? All right, so let's see if we have any other questions before we wrap up, okay? Guys, this is Beauty to Bank. This is where I show you how to take your knowledge of the beauty industry straight to the bank. Okay. I started this last year in May 24th, I believe, of 2021 was my first episode of Beauty to Bank. And I meet here every Monday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I just want to always enlighten, inspire, right, and motivate my beauty industry professionals to take your knowledge to the bank, because that's what it takes. It's all about sharing your knowledge. That's what digital products are for me. They're about packaging up your knowledge into a way that people can purchase it from you, and it's really amazing. I can't think of anything else in the world where you create it one time and you sell that exact same thing to everybody. Okay? It's not like if you have t-shirts, and even if you have two large t-shirts in black, it's a separate t-shirt. There's inventory, then you have to ship it, okay? This is literally just that thing. Okay, I'm sorry. So Sarai, I believe that Sarai said, "What is the thing again, please?" The thing is you have to create and sell digital products. You cannot generate passive income with digital products if you do not create them. You just can't. It can't happen, okay? And I know it's scary because everything that I'm talking to you guys about, the reason why I'm so passionate, I'm pushing you off the 10-foot diving board is because it took me it took me almost 5 years to learn how to make six figures with my digital products. And then now I can triple it and quadruple it so easy. I can teach it to other people. But I hesitated. I didn't do the thing. I did not create my digital products. I did not cover, do all those things. I did not do it. Okay. Because of the fact that, I hesitated. I was being a perfectionist. I felt like oh, it's not pretty enough. I don't have enough time. And you know what was missing in there? What was missing is me thinking about serving my audience. Okay. So when I took myself out of the equation, okay, and myself was my ego. Okay. I'm going to have to share with you guys. I have an older episode of Beauty to Bank where I talk about the poison of perfectionism, because that's what happened to me. And I hear so many people when we're talking about being well, I can't do that yet because it's not up to my brand and my standards. And it's like, you don't have a brand. You haven't done anything. Okay. Nobody knows who you are. Okay. And it's a way that we're sitting here and we're justifying not doing the work. Like you said, Gigi, you got to do the work. Some things will only make sense when you do them. Okay. So, guys, think about that for a second. There are some things will literally only make sense if you do them. All right. You have to do the work. It won't make sense. So, I've had several of my students in the six-figure business system who will say, they'll come to our weekly meetings that we have on Tuesdays and they'll say, you know what? Y'all listen, if Season tells you to do something, just do it because she said to do the class from a computer and don't do it from a mobile device. And I tried to do it and it was a mess. Okay. Literally, these are the conversations. A lot of times, what I do is I don't, people come to me and say, well, can't we do it like this? Can't we do it like that? Yes, there's a lot of different ways. I'm going to teach you one way. Why? Let's see who was paying attention to what I was saying earlier. I'm going to teach you one right way that works for most people. Okay, there's a lot of different options under the sun, but if I teach you one way and one path, then you're going to be able to get to the end. Okay? Thank you, Lucretia. Okay? Yes, this is a complete mindset shift, executing without thinking. But guess what, guys? We do it all the time. Okay? Yes, we do it all the time. Like when we get, you guys, can you imagine every single one of us, we use our phones, right, for navigation and everything. Can you imagine if we plug an address to get, let's say, I live in Charlotte, North Carolina. Let's say I want to get to the South Park Mall and I plug in the address into my navigation and it tells me all, let's say I'm driving and it's like, you know what? You can make a left here, or you can make a right, or you could also keep on the highway, or you could take this other highway, right? When you get in the navigation, they give you one right way to get there. Okay. So when people come and they're saying, oh, but you could do this, you could do that. Listen, understand the one right way. Follow one coach to get you to your destination. Make sure that before you start doing other stuff and taking shortcuts and taking other routes to get to the destination, execute that a couple times. Master that coach's system before you start doing something different. Okay, because a lot of people, they keep they take a little bit from this person, a little bit from that person, a little bit, and before they know it, that's why it doesn't work. So then they say, they talk about these digital products. It's a scam. It doesn't work. I tried it. You didn't follow the recipe. You got a whole bunch of recipes. You don't know how to do it, but now you're altering the recipe. Okay? Do it first before you start altering the recipe. It doesn't make sense. Okay? It doesn't make sense. All right? So that's why a lot of times people are like, "Can't you do it like this? Can't you do it?" No. Do it one way before you start creating your own strategy. Now, I'll tell you this. My strategy, I did not learn from anybody else. In the six-figure business system, I have templates that I made. Okay? I have broken some of the rules of digital marketing. I did. There's some rules. You got to have a landing page. You got to do this. Once I broke some of the rules, that's when I started serving my audience. I was able to be more agile, right? This is the tech term. What it means is basically I could move easier. You know what I'm saying? I could move a little easier because I didn't have the handcuffs on me. Okay? I didn't people were like, "Oh, you got to do it like this. You got to do it like this." And I said, "Hey, I got to serve my audience. I'm taking these handcuffs off because my audience needs help. And these handcuffs are stopping me from serving my audience." Okay? I hope that makes sense. I'm going to take a sip of water here, guys. Mm. Actually, I have some tea here, y'all. Okay? Thank you for bearing with me. But that's what it's about. Okay? And the perfectionism, I'm going to tell you this: perfectionism and entrepreneurship don't go together. That was a big problem that I've had. I still sometimes I'm like, I still slide back into these ways sometimes, but perfectionism, you could have the most perfect thing in the world and not make any money. And I had the most perfect things many times and I wasn't making the money. It's not about the perfections. I'm super technical. I had all the tech stuff done and I wasn't making the money. Okay? People are focused on the wrong things. Okay? If you are interested in making and selling digital products, okay, you have to do the thing. You have to do the work. You have to execute. You have to have something. I think when everybody thinks about creating and selling digital products, everybody thinks that this thing that they're going to create is going to be perfect and it's going to be in its final state. I want to encourage everybody to think about it as it's a work in progress. It gets more perfect over time. Okay? I hope that makes sense to you. It's going to get more perfect over time. And the way that it gets more perfect is because you think about serving your clients, your students, and your community. Okay? So I'll give you an example, okay? Even when I first started teaching the six-figure business system, I would tell people, "Hey, create an email freebie." And they were like, "I don't know what you're talking about." And I'm like, "Yes, all it is, you could just create a free report and this and that." And they're like, "Oh, yeah, okay." And they're like, "I don't know what to do." Okay. So now what I did is I said, here is a template. Take my template, put your picture in it, put your colors, put your logo, put your words in here. Okay. Fill it in. All right. What I've attempted to do, and the people that are in here, I see a lot of my students in here in the chat right now. what I have attempted to do is to take away the thinking. Okay, I just want people to execute, and I know that that sounds like so weird because you know how we do. You guys know how we do. We get in there and we start. We see we paid the person to teach us how to do something, and then we get in there and we start deciding why we shouldn't listen to them. We've got all these great reasons, right? We have all these reasons. We're like, yeah, I know she said that I should do it like this and I should have an order bump and an upsell, but I mean, other people don't have that. You know how we do, right? I don't have time to create that. Okay. And by the way, for my people who are like, oh my gosh, what do you mean I got to create 3 products? Nah, for the people in my group, I gave them a product to sell. Okay, so if you don't have time to create your order bump and upsell, use mine. Mm, come on now. All right. That's what I talk about. I'm creating a more perfect thing because I have a close connection with my community. I'm always like, hey, where you at? Did you do it? Did you do the thing? What's going on? What are you struggling with? You understand what I'm saying? So I can feel in, the blanks. That is just like I said, I'm very passionate about getting the results. You understand what I'm saying? Not my results, your results. That's what I care about. Okay. And the people that are in here, I see, a lot of people are in here that are in my program and they're telling you, okay? They're telling you because they know I really care. I really care. I want you guys to do it. I want you to get the results that you want, okay? And that's why I'm doing this, okay? Um let me see here if we have any other questions on this, okay? And let me see. I'm sharing some of these comments, but let me go ahead and talk about this a little bit more. I love to share. I love these comments. Gigi the Jew said church on Valentine's Day. That's right. Mika said thank you, coach. Another one of my students. Daniel, one way, one coach. That's right. Okay. Till you master that, you can do something else later. Okay. But master what one coach is giving you before you do something different. Okay. Practice makes progress, not perfection. Okay. Lucretia, yes, do what she says. Okay. And guys, um, Daniel, that's the key mindset change, serving others with our knowledge. Okay. I do talk about money a lot because I have grown up very poor. Okay. I've grown up very poor. I wasn't given a thing. And I'm sure that's not different from a lot of other people. Okay. But I know that if you guys don't make the money, you're not going to be able to do the thing or to continue and to focus on other people, right? Cassandra said, yes, thank you, stay focused. Okay. And so money is an important thing. And guess what? Money, that's a mindset shift too. Some people I'm like, come here. That was a mindset shift I had to make. Okay. Because sometimes you'll know that your time is worth money. And so I see some people that are afraid to ask for the money, they're afraid to charge more. Okay. It's That's a mindset shift. Okay. Some people feel like, well, hey, they might say, well, I'm not an expert, because they're looking at somebody else who they might say, well, that person's a 10 and I'm a 5. Well, why would somebody pay me? Guess what? There's tons of people who would pay you, the people level 4, 3, 2, and 1. They're like, I want to know what you know. Okay. I like the way you talk. I can relate to you. I like the music you listen to. I like the way you dress. I like the way you do your thing. Okay. And they want to learn from you, but they can't if you don't offer it. Okay. All right. Let me see. I'm just going through these comments real quick. I want to make sure I'm not leaving anybody out here. So if you guys have just been joining, this is Beauty to Bank. It's the number one place on the web where beauty professionals learn how to make money without standing behind the chair. My name is Susan Bennett. I am the CEO of The Social Barber, and I help established beauty professionals learn how to package up their knowledge into digital products so you can avoid burnout behind the chair. Each and every week, I come here Mondays, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Beauty to Bank show and help you learn how to turn your knowledge of the beauty industry and take it straight to the bank. So I want to thank you guys for joining me this week. And if you have any questions, I have put my number into the description as well. You can text me there. That's my, myself and my team. You can reach all of us there. As well as if you are interested in learning more about the six figure business system, I do have the link so that you can try the free module. Okay, you can go ahead and register for that for free and try the first module for free. And I want to thank you guys for joining, and I will see you next week. Thank you. Bye.